The numbers know before draft night. NBA net wins draft preview. Every draft season, front offices argue over the same sliver of prospects at the top. Scouts debate measurables, agents spin narratives, but beneath the noise, the box score has been quietly keeping score all year. And when you distill it into a single number, the picture is surprisingly clear. Net wins measures how many wins above or below average a player's individual production accounts for, calibrated against his own team's pace of winning and losing. A high number means the player's output maps tightly onto team success. A low number doesn't mean a player's bad, it just means the data alone can't yet justify the projection. Personal foul data was unavailable at the team level for this model run, which means the negative actions denominator is slightly underweighted. Interpret the absolute values accordingly, but the relative rankings hold. Cameron Boozer leads all projected first-rounders with a remarkable 8.59 net wins, the highest mark in this class by a wide margin. Playing alongside his twin brother Caden at Duke, the younger Boozer has been a monster contributor on a 35-win team, and the metrics validate what the eye test has screamed all year. He's the most NBA-ready player in this draft on pure production. The surprise at the top is Yaxel Lendenborg, sitting at pick number 12 in the conventional draft order. His net wins rank suggests he's producing like a lottery player, and the boards likely reflect one significant factor the metric doesn't capture: age. At 24, he's one of the oldest prospects in the class, and NBA teams routinely discount older college players regardless of production. The 6.11 net wins is real. The age gap is real too. Meanwhile, AJ goes first overall on most boards. His 3.35 is solid, but reflects a BYU team that wasn't elite, calibrating his raw brilliance into a more modest win contribution. Darren Peterson's another number that deserves context at 1.98. He missed time at Kansas after attributing cramping issues to excessive creatine supplementation. The abbreviated season drags down his net wins total, and his slot near the top of most boards reflects projection more than 20, 25, 26 production. When a player's availability is the variable, the model measures the gap, not the talent. Jaden Acquaintance shows the widest gap between draft position and net wins. Though context matters, he missed significant time with a knee injury this season, which explains the near zero production figure. His projection reflects draft capital on a player who didn't play enough to establish a statistical footprint. So there's three players to watch. I mentioned Lendenborg earlier, projected 12th, producing like a top 5 pick. His 6.11 net wins on a powerhouse Michigan team's legitimate. His combine measurements backed up the production: 6'10" inch shoes, 7 foot 3 inch wingspan, over a 9 foot standing reach, and his agility and shooting drew notice from the scouts on the floor. The one thing the boards can't get past is the age. And at 24, front offices apply a steep discount regardless of what the box score or the tape says. Whether that discount's warranted here is the real debate heading into June. The asterisk I mentioned before was Jaden Q, pick 20 on most boards, 0.07 net wins on this one. The number's misleading in isolation. He dealt with a knee injury, and once again, that severely limited his ability. The model can only measure what happened on the court, and when a player barely plays, the output reflects the absence, not ability. So treat his entry as incomplete data, not a talent verdict. The hidden value in the draft is Terrace Reed Jr., sliding to pick number 32 or the bottom half of the first round in conventional boards. He posted 5.41 net wins on a Connecticut squad that went 34-6. The model likes big men who anchor winning teams, and Reed was a genuine anchor. A late first selection at this production level is a significant value play. Of the 31 prospects with net wins data, 15 posted above 3, a reasonable threshold for meaningful college contribution at a first-round level. 8 cleared 4.5, which is where the model starts flagging a player as a genuine winning contributor rather than just a volume accumulator. The Michigan pipeline stands out. 3 first-round prospects: Lindenborg at 6.11, Mara at 5.45, Johnson at 5.25, all cleared the 5 mark on a team that won at a high rate. That's unusual concentration of production from one program. Worth noting, Lindenborg will be evaluated differently than Mara and Johnson because of the age, but his on-court contribution was genuine across all 3. Duke's pair of Boozer and Evans at 4.5 further suggests the Blue Devils were everything the eye test showed and more. 2 first-round picks, both with strong net wins profiles, both emerging from a team that finished 35-3. The denominator matters. On an elite team, those wins come harder, which makes the numerator more valuable. The class overall tilts toward the back end being undervalued on consensus boards. Ejiofor from St. John's, and Caravan at UConn, and Jefferson at Iowa State all project as mid to late first rounders despite producing at levels that historically have translated to meaningful NBA rotational contributors within 2 years. The NetWins formula, all written content, original works, all rights reserved.